So we're having a conversation, absolutely. It says in our bylaws, it says, no meeting shall be held pursuant to the subsection unless all duly qualified precinct committee officers are given proper notice at least 5 days prior to the meeting. Immediately following the meeting, if there's removed, they'll do other folks. And then in our bylaws, it says 25% of the PCOs in the legislative district should constitute a quorum, but it has to be a majority of the elected PCOs have to be here. There's no proxy. So it would require 3 people. First, it would require 5-day notice, which I haven't received. And the second is there has to be a meeting, and then there has to be a majority.
Look at the bylaws here and ask where the 5-day notice was.
Yeah, I didn't see that at all. I'm just letting him have his say. He's going on, and that's fine. I'm going to have his say.
So it says 25% of the folks are with respect to the quorum, but it has to be a majority of the duly elected.
Well, what I found was the ruling is very short, and it's open for a lot of interpretation on both sides. I guess what I'm saying to you, Clyde, right now is this is going to happen one way or another, whether it be now or when Alex gets back, because then we will have, all the people that we need. So.
What I would say is I absolutely respect, the opinions and those things, and if the duly outlined procedures are followed when they
I believe they have.
Well, according to the bylaws, they haven't from that standpoint. One, no meeting has been called, no 5-day notices.
I didn't read anything about that.
And it also says that, you have to have a quorum, people have to be notified. So if you all want to petition for a meeting, no problem. And then we'll have a meeting, and if there's a duly, 25% precinct committee officers remove me, I'll absolutely stand down.
Well, everybody has different opinion about that. I don't agree with their opinion, and you won't agree with mine. That's probably how it will behave.
You have a section provided. What section are you quoting from?
It has to be the Clark County.
Yeah, this is the Clark County right here. I'm not sure it's section 6.
On removal from office. Call the meeting. You have to
says there's 5 days.
I don't think a single PCO.
Section 6.
For the
removal from office.
When you
There's
guys
only
do.
5 people.
Yes, when you do 5 sections, 3, we have to actually sign the call to meeting, so that you call over.
Well, I've been talking with Ken this week. No, I've been talking with Ken this week and Alex this week. Unfortunately, Alex did have to be out.
So you guys can, you all three sign the call, and you get 5-day notice, and you can.
What I understand is that if you look here, it says 25 PCOs shall constitute a quorum, but you have to call a meeting.
I do.
Yes, you don't see that, it's done, it's a done deal.
Well, you have to.
From office, Alex, you testified saying that the chair may be removed only by a majority vote of elected PCOs. And the judge just per RCW.
Are you saying there's an article?
Article 6.
I am in
removal from office.
Article 6, Section 5.
Article 6, 2B, last sentence.
RCW overrides the bylaws.
You're a director, and that's not what you are. You're elected to place the district chair.
And then it says, under
That's under Section 5.
legislative district committees, it says, here you go, with respect to this.
Please
We
read it.
have-
Please
It
read it
says,
close.
oh, you're
Everybody.
section 3. Yeah. Section 11, list legislative district committees. It says here, under A, the same requirements for electing legislative district chair shall apply to all the officers. And then under section 3, it says 25% of PCOs shall constitute a quorum. All the business of the legislative district has to be done under
Right, Mary,
appropriate
and you have
business exception.
25%, correct? Today, you currently have 25%.
25%.
You have Alex, you have Ken, and you have yourself.
Right.
That is the majority out of 5.
So you have a quorum,
Yes.
but even if there are 5 days for notice, it has to be.
Where does it
Where
say
is the 5
5
days?
days?
I said it on all our meetings.
All of them.
No, no.
RCW, however, does not prescribe for that and overrides the bylaws in every way.
Well, they work together, otherwise we wouldn't have any bylaws.
No, RCW overrides bylaws in every
It
single
doesn't
way under
disagree
state
with that.
law.
There's nothing in the RCW that disagrees with it. Well, you're
Mr.
not.
Holland, Mr. Holland, what I
You're not a part of this meeting either, so-
is that you sat
What's your
here and
point?
you said,
No,
if I
B20
can
meeting.
clearly identify the people that are interested in removing me, I will remove myself. Did anybody else hear that? Is there anybody who didn't hear that?
I didn't hear that.
No, last meeting.
Oh, I thought what you just said.
It was on your recording. In the
It
last
also
meeting.
says it has to be a majority of the elected PCOs.
Yes,
Yes,
and
and
she's
we're
trying to
elected.
show you that there is a majority of elected
The
PCOs.
bylaws do not call for proxy. So you have
What
to have
part?
a-
Unless you need
We're
to
right
show
here,
that.
and here's Alice, he cannot be here, so, because he's
He has a
physically
video,
out of
sir, to
town.
let you know.
The meeting has to be with people like.
Who says that? Who says that?
Yeah, you can say that all day. Where does it say that that meeting has to take place?
I'm the precinct officer for precinct number 536 in Park County. Please confirm my signature on the document that was signed electronically there, and please confirm my vote. Thank you very much.
I spoke with him at length.
What's that in his hand?
And,
His ID.
I don't believe that a single PCO can call a vote.
No meeting.
There is no meeting required.
To have a vote, there is.
Yeah, the majority of the PCOs who voted for
RCW simply says a vote of the majority of the PCOs of the district. It does not prescribe to a called meeting.
Mr. Holland, Ms. Nidius is privy to this, but because private donors
RCW supersedes bylaws and
secured a parliamentarian to review the case, I would like to read to you, in Mary's defense, the fact that this all stands. Right now, Mary is trying really hard to be very civil, to get you to meet with him, with her, and the three people that have clearly given you all the evidence, which are the majority of PCOs, that they would like you to step down as LD chair. Now, I will read to you the parliamentary opinion. I have been asked to render a parliamentary opinion on the following issues. Was the vote by Clark County Legislative District 20 Precinct Committee officers to remove Mr. Clyde Holland valid? If the vote was valid, does Mr. Holland retain the right to vote as a member of the Clark County Republican Party Board? I was presented with the following documents to review in drafting this parliamentary opinion and drafting this opinion. In drafting this opinion, I accept these documents as accurate and valid representations of the rules that govern and communications within the Clark County Republican Party. A, the revised Code of Washington, which you're very aware of, 29A.80.061. B, Clark County Republican Central Committee bylaws as adopted December 3rd, 2016. C, Clark County Republican Party Board meeting minutes. Can we hold off on this? It's very distracting. Oh, I see what you're doing. C, Clark County Republican Party Board minutes, August 2nd. Leslie Mahari's emails, oh, that's for her side, okay. And then a couple of emails from David. So we're going to go ahead and go to the parliamentary authority. The Clark County Republican Central Committee bylaws, Article 10, 11, 12, 13, okay, 13, Section 5 reads, Robert's Rules of Order revised shall govern all meetings of the CCRCC. Robert's Rules of Order revised, 1951, is the 6th edition of the Parliamentary Authority. This is an antiquated edition of the current modern version, which is Robert's Rules of Order. Perhaps the wording was wrong and it's a typo, and the committee follows the RONR 11th edition, 2011. Regardless, this opinion will cite evidence from both the 1951 and the 2011 editions of the Parliamentary Authority. So the guy does his research. Was the vote by the Clark County Legislative District 20 Precinct Committee officers to remove Mr. Clyde Holland valid? If the vote was valid, does Mr. Holland retain the right to vote as a member of the Clark County Republican Party Board? Fact, the RCW states the district chair shall hold office until the next legislative district reorganization meeting 2 years later or until a successor is elected. The legislative district chair may be removed only by a majority vote of the elected precinct committee officers in the chair's district. Fact. Number 2, Robert's Rules of Order newly revised states if the bylaws provide that officers shall serve for X or until their successor or are elected, the officer in question can be removed from office by adoption of a motion to do so. The vote required for adoption of such a motion is 2/3 vote, a majority vote when previous notice has been given. Fact. Number 3, CCRCC bylaws state, with the exception of legislative district chair, elected officers or directors may be removed by a no confidence motion brought before the CCRCC by one of the following methods. A 2/3 vote of the board based on reasonable cause provided by the elected officers or directors to be removed. A petition calling a special meeting to remove the elected officer or director. 4, Fact number 4, CCRCC bylaws state the legislative district chair may be removed only by a majority vote of the elected precinct committee officers in the chair's district per RCW 29A.80.61. Number 5, the precinct committee chairs in legislative district 20 voted on October 3rd to remove Mr. Clyde Holland as legislative district 20 chair. Opinion. Based on the evidence provided and the facts outlined above, the following conclusions have been reached. Number 1, RCW 29A 80.061 allows the legislative district chair to be removed by a majority vote of the elected precinct committee officers in the chair's district. Number 2, Robert's Rules of Order newly revised supports the revised Code of Washington in that an officer can be removed from office by adoption of a motion to do so. Number 3, CCRCC bylaws, Article 6, Section 5 is in the nature of a special rule of order in the bylaws. Robert's Rules of Order states, special rules of order supersede any rules in the parliamentary authority with which they may conflict. Society should therefore adopt some generally accepted rules of order or parliamentary manual as their authority, and then adopt only such special rules of order as needed to supplement their parliamentary authority. Number 4, CCRCC bylaws follows the revised Code of Washington in that the legislative district chair may be removed by a majority vote of the elected precinct committee officers in the chair's district. Number 5, CCRCC bylaws state explicitly that with the exception of legislative district chairs, emphasis added, other officers can be removed by a 2/3 vote of the board with 10 days previous notice or petition calling for a special meeting to remove the officers. Number 6, it is the opinion of this parliamentarian that the CCRCC does not require a meeting to be held to remove the legislative district chair from office. The vote required to remove the legislative district chair is a majority vote of the precinct committee officers. Number 7, it is the opinion of this parliamentarian that the vote by legislative district 20 precinct committee officers on October 3rd, 2017 was valid. By a majority vote 3-0 of the precinct committee officers, the motion to remove Mr. Clyde Holland from the position of legislative district 20 chair was adopted. Mr. Holland was duly removed from his position and should no longer retain the rights to vote as a member of the Clark County Republican Party Board.
It did say it had to be in the adoption of a motion. A motion would have to take place at a meeting, not on a
Says who?
petition. That's what you just read.
It does not say
No,
it
it says
should take
the
place in a
exception.
meeting.
It says the exception.
But,
May I have it?
yeah, but what's really important is you're trying to call a meeting. So, call a meeting, call it to order, have a vote on this
Well, you
motion that's been
give
had.
proper notice for
May I
that.
have the full-
You will have the full when we address the rest of this. This has to do with another issue. It has nothing to do with you, Mr. Holland. That is the only part that has something to do with you.
Jerry, are you calling a meeting? Calling a meeting? Well, I called a meeting yesterday, that's
Well, you
why.
called the meeting to order here.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm not up to date on all the rules, but I can learn them.
Did you get
She needs to say that.
Yeah, go ahead and call
Yep,
it.
I call a meeting to order,
For the LD20.
right, for the LD20, and we've got 3 people here, myself, and live.
And the video for.
Right, and the video for Alex, and I want to make a motion that we vote that our votes are valid.
So a second?
Oh, I guess I'll second that. Yeah, I'm waiting.
Is there discussion? That's what we've been having.
For a vote, is there no discussion?
Yeah.
So,
No, you go ahead. You don't have to wait.
with respect to this, it says that previous notice given at the meeting. You read it in here, I was looking for it. And so there had to be previous notice of this, and I don't believe that, the people need to be here to vote. Because there's no,
Well, we're here to vote right now.
2 out of 3, 2 out of the 5 elected isn't a 2/3 majority.
Yes.
The ruling from.
Those 2 plus you is 3.
Yeah, the vote's already
Get them out.
The vote's already taken, and
Right.
voting on whether or not to
I've had a
accept it.
parliamentarian review this as well, and the opinion was that.
Where's your evidence?
Peanut gallery.
You know,
Board meeting.
I received I received the original deal about an hour before our last meeting, and I was on the phone, so I believe that appropriate notice is required, and that appropriate votes must be taken, and that the PCOs must be present in order to have the votes counted. That's what I was told with respect to the parliamentarian.
Yeah,
A single PCO, I don't believe that Jimmy's district and a single PCO called a meeting for whole 49.
That's right.
No, they didn't, I didn't see a call a meeting. There was no call a meeting, it was a single PCO. But it was a single PCO that
She
called
called a
it.
meeting in yesterday.
In 23 hours, she called it a 23-hour notice by a single
There is no notice
PCO.
requirement. There's no bylaw for the district. There are no notice requirements.
Yeah, so
Where is the
you can
5-day
refer to,
notice
you can
requirement?
refer to our county laws.
Point of personal privilege or information, whichever. Why is it that the chairman is injecting himself into the issues of the 20th just as he did to
Well,
the
why is it, I
49th?
thought you just
No,
said this whole thing.
it's fine, it's fine.
Seriously, Jeremy?
I'm
Why is the
fine.
chairman allowed to do that?
Yeah, it's
This whole
fine.
thing was just put.
It was a question. Don't even come at me. I asked a simple question.
It's all
so, yeah, the vote is on making the votes valid.
statements
And
before it's called
I
forward.
vote yes, they should be valid.
Kenneth, do you vote?
So,
Yeah, they're valid.
And Alex voted not according.
Yeah.
We're not gonna. You don't need a majority.
So, you could make a motion to.
Well, a single PCO can't call a meeting in any LD, so it's not a valid meeting.
They didn't need to call a meeting.
That's
They
not-
already had a vote. And now they're having a meeting where they're.
The vote can only take place at the, I mean, you're saying that now they're having a meeting, but they can't call, a single PCO can't call a meeting for an LD.
You make a good point, but let me refute your point, sir. Is it true that the LD chairs govern under the RCW, not under CCRP bylaws?
Both.
Therefore,
Our bylaws also have governing
RCW
rules.
governs over bylaws.
Over, if there's conflicting information,
But
then the
right
RCW
now-
would have the head.
The RCW states that a organizational meeting can be called, but it has nothing stated in there regarding
Right.
removal of somebody, number one, may I finish? And also, it does not, they did not come together in the organizational meeting because it was him, himself, and him. And they did not create a bylaw or have a secretary or anything like that, so there's nothing governing that body. So everything else is made up, the 5 days is made up. What I'm saying right now, what you're witnessing right now is the LD chair is operating under the RCW. And the RCW says that the motion has already been taken, it's already done. This is just a formality for them to make it so that Mr. Holland can have an opportunity to speak to this action that has been taken. It does not matter whether he votes yes or no. And an honorable man, in my opinion, would see that 3 out of 5 people, well, one of them being yourself, 3 out of 4 people, want you gone. I mean, you told me yourself you're a Christian man. Don't you believe in this?
I have consulted
Sure.
I have consulted counsel.
Sure, no
What
one's
they've said-
refusing that.
They have said that a meeting needs to be called, that there needs to be a 5-day notice.
This is not one.
And that in the people present, 3 out of 5 must vote present to have it be a valid finding.
Thank you for addressing me. I really appreciate that, and I want to respond to that. Where does it say a 5-day meeting, a 5-day notice is needed? Mary Neves, she has not done this before. She asked me, what do I do? We comb the bylaws. Everything we have done has always been above board. We are not trying to cheat you out of here. We wish that you would stay on, like Jimmy said the other day. Welcome. We want to welcome you, but we want to welcome you when you are going to do according to the rules and the bylaws. You didn't show up for 9 meetings and then you come and try to vote us out. Does that make sense, Mr. Holland? I think you're much higher than that of a human being.
So Katya, what I would say is, it's important to follow the rules and regulations and process. To not have any,
Hey, right.
to not have any meeting called. To not have the folks in attendance to vote. It doesn't require an appropriate action. When a meeting is called.
So you're not recognizing this meeting?
I'm not.
And you're not accepting the
All right.
vote?
I got something to say in biker language. If that many people say you stink, if you had any respect, you would remove yourself from that position, just out of common courtesy, and that's what I have to say.
Sir, I very much appreciate that. And having a difference of opinion is important. And I
There's no difference to tell you what I'm hearing.
No, guys, thank you for
make a
coming.
motion to
We are
adjourn the
gonna,
meeting?
well, you can't be called. So we're gonna get the.
Yes, you can call.
Adjourn.
Do we vote to vote?
We did.
At a second,
Can you
during
stay for the
it.
rest of this meeting, please?
I don't know if I can handle it or not. I can do a half hour. The bar just across the
It
street.
should, I'll go with you.
All right.
I'll buy you your first.
Okay, that's my chair, I'll go second.
What's your name?
Who is that?
Thank you.
Dr. Table,
Who is that guy?
So,
ready, Jim?
What are we doing?
We're having our regular meeting now.
One of those things.
All right, we're gonna start the invocation and pledge.
please call this meeting to order, Mr. Chairman.
Pledge allegiance. After me, folks.
Wait, we're gonna start the invocation.
first.
Oh,
It's called the order.
Yeah, she asked you to call to order.
Well,
Is the
yeah,
meeting called to order?
yeah. We'll call it to order and
I think they want to do it after the pledge and invocation, that's fine.
Great Father in heaven, I want to thank you for the opportunity to all be here. Just ask you here in our presence and to give us wisdom to carry forward the business that we have at hand and the
Amen.
with me, folks, I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
so looks like we're all here.
Should we do roll call?
Yes, please. Mr. Chairman, would you call the meeting to order, please?
Yeah.
All right, meeting called to order.
Okay, and we are here for a special meeting. It's everybody. Special meeting for the resolution put forward on the notice of special meeting. Secretary, can you read the resolution?
And I have it.
Mr. Chairman, I ask for roll call vote, please. I mean, not roll call vote, I ask for a roll call of the people in attendance.
Every board member is in attendance.
Mr. Chairman, I ask for
You can.
a roll call.
Go ahead.
All right. Please let me know if you are here. Tom Fingan.
Here.
George Hacker.
Here.
Jamie Johnson.
Yep.
Carver McEwen. Here. Karen Crumple. Here. Suzanne Gerhardt.
Here.
David Galatly.
Here.
Tasha Delavar. Here. Joseph Wester.
Here. Was Leslie called?
No, she was not.
Recognize Leslie.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Leslie is not a member of the board. She is.
That's false. We've actually already taken a vote and it failed on that. That was proposed at last board meeting.
Mr. Chairman?
We're here to, for one purpose, is on our special meeting agenda, and that's the only purpose that we're here to discuss.
Mr. Chairman, credentials are a matter of.
And she's been at every board meeting since, and we already handled that last board meeting as well. We're going to recognize Clyde and Leslie.
So, Mr. Chairman, there's been a point of order. Is that your ruling? Is that your ruling on the point of order?
We're only here for one resolution.
Okay, so if that's your ruling on the point of order, then I appeal the decision of the chair.
Second?
That is, again, you guys, we're here for the resolution. Leslie, it's already a settled matter. She's on the board. And so we are going to move into the resolution.
The chairman has ignored an appeal. I appeal the decision of the chair.
The appeal is still there, right?
I believe the chairman
It's already
is
been
using the
decided.
authority of the dilatory. I am again appealing the decision of the chair.
I second it.
All those
So-
in favor of upholding the decision of the chair, please stand. Upholding the decision
I'm
of the
sorry.
chair.
Of the chair, I'm sorry.
Do as you're told. All those who are opposed to the decision of the chair, please stand.
That's a 6 count.
The decision of the chair is overturned.
Leslie will be recognized.
The decision of the chair has been overturned, Leslie will not be recognized.
And
Yeah,
Mr. Chairman,
that is
and
out of order.
just let's calm down for a second. Okay, your decision has been overturned. We can be in debate regarding this real quickly, but let me just say that I have
You
secured the
can't-
parliamentarian
You can't repeal this.
opinion about Leslie Mahari, and if you'd like to hear it,
No, we're not.
I believe Ms. Mahari should hear why, I mean, she shouldn't be put through this. It's really hard for her to keep hearing this. She needs to understand that everything was done above board, and I feel very strongly as a member of this board that she should know the rights of this
The
board.
only thing that's going on here is you people have counted up
That's out
the
of order.
votes.
This is out of order.
you're up.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy, I
Mr.
recognize you.
Chair,
I was
the only thing
already
that's going on
speaking,
here,
Mr. Chairman.
excuse me,
I have the floor,
She
Mr.
has the
Chairman.
floor.
I am not done
You are interrupting.
with my discussion.
She has a parliamentary-
I'm being,
I will call up
Calm
people.
down.
Mr. Chair, you're out of order. Let her read the parliamentarian
I will
opinion.
call up people.
All right, now she's in the meeting.
Go ahead and finish.
thank you so much.
Joe, if it
Ben.
happens again,
That's good. That's
You do
good.
not have the authority to.
I'll recognize people.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Was Ms. Leslie Mahari's resignation from the office of Clark County Republican Central Committee Vice Chairman accepted? If the resignation was accepted, does Ms. Mahari retain the right to vote as a member of the Clark County Republican Party Board?
Okay, I'm sorry, Katya, but we're actually here for a resolution, and
Yes,
this is a special
absolutely,
meeting,
sir.
so this discussion needs to come back to.
I would be more than happy to address what you just said.
Yeah.
We are here for a resolution.
We
The
are.
resolution is affected by the member that's here. The credential of the member is being questioned. If the member is willing to step away from this vote, we don't have to go through the discussion here, and I
We've
can
already
pass
had
out
this
this people.
discussion.
Mr.
It's
Chairman,
already been ruled on.
Mr. Chairman, can I be recognized?
Yes, sir.
Leslie Mahari's resignation can only be recognized by the body that elected her,
Mr.
which
Chairman,
will happen,
point of order, Mr.
excuse me,
Chairman.
which will happen on October 21st,
Mr. Chairman,
if
the
the
gentleman is
resignation
mistaken.
is filed.
Mr. Chairman, the
Well,
gentleman
This
is
body has
mistaken.
no business.
Let him
Let me
finish his
finish.
sentence, Katya.
But I was not done
No,
when he
you're
jumped
interrupting
in. I
me.
was polite enough to be quiet for him, but I was not done reading what I was trying to say here.
Well, Mr. Chairman, Leslie, the question of Leslie being resigned or not resigned will be absolved at the next time, at the next meeting by the body of people who elected her.
Yeah, according to
That's
Robert's
the only
rules,
way.
the only body that can accept the resignation.
You people can't
or the
say
rescinding of
who's
it
fired
is
and
the
who's not.
electing body. But
I also feel that it's absolutely inappropriate. If you wanted to have this done and considered tonight, normal protocol would be to say, we have an opinion, here's the opinion, here, you all take it and review, is it accurate, is it not accurate? To sit here and read something who I have no idea where this came from and had no opportunity to review it is a kangaroo court and is absolutely inappropriate.
Mr. Chairman,
George,
I'd like to make a statement in the debate. If the September 2nd, 2017 meeting had been handled appropriately, this question would have been discussed, but it was motioned to be dilatory in violations of Robert's Rules of Order. So the question about Leslie's resignation and her credentials have been in question for several meetings. We made motions last Wednesday, but it wasn't carried. We got a professional opinion. I would like to hear it read so that we can consider that as part of this meeting, because credentials are essential in terms of establishing legitimacy to the votes that are taken. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, being that there's a tremendous amount of research being done here, and I had no idea, other than we were supposed to be here to vote on a resolution, I suggest that we should need to find our own legal opinion. Now that there's us and them, they obviously have found somebody that's going to argue what they think. I think we should also have somebody to argue our own point of view.
Motion to adjourn.
Joe.
Mr. Chairman, I move the council be allowed to read the opinion.
Second?
Second. No objection. Go ahead.
No objection. Thank you. I'll go with the opinion first, then we'll come back to the facts. It is the opinion of this parliamentarian that Ms. Mahari's resignation was accepted by the CCRP board, as was recorded in the CCRP board meeting minutes and confirmed by Ms. Mahari's email dated August 3rd, 2017. It is the opinion of this parliamentarian that the CCRP board acted upon the resignation by calling a special meeting for the purpose of holding a special election to fill the vacancy in the CCRP Vice Chairman's position. It is the opinion of this parliamentarian that Ms. Mahari's decision to rescind her resignation was out of order for the following reason. A. Ms. Mahari verbally resigned at the CCRP board meeting on August 3rd, 2017. B. Ms. Mahari confirmed the resignation in an email to CCRP board on August 3rd, 2017. C. Mr. Gellity acted upon the resignation by calling a special meeting and special election to fill the vacancy in the vice chairman's position. D. It was 29 days between the date of Ms. Mahari's resignation and the date that she rescinded her resignation. The CCRP board had already acted upon the resignation. Number 4. It is the opinion of this parliamentarian that Ms. Mahari's resignation was accepted and acted upon by the CCRP board, and she should no longer retain the rights to vote as a member of the Clark County Republican Party board. So, Mr. Chairman, I have a full copy of the parliamentarian opinion. It came in today. We secured him yesterday in order to find the answers for today because we were very confused after the last meeting we just had. Thank you for listening to me.
Let me say this real quick.
You may now have the full thing. Who else doesn't have it and wants it?
Is this resolution here, before we need to go any further, as stated here, if you guys just want to pass this resolution as stated right now, I'll have no objection and we can all go home.
Yes, that would be great. Anybody have an objection?
Fine with me.
Okay.
Fine with
But
me.
the question of
credentials.
Okay, I'm just saying,
Still credentialed.
as of this right here, if you guys all commit 100%, we can, I mean, I've left a wedding I have to go back to. If we can commit to passing this resolution right here, as stated,
It doesn't matter the question.
and then we can go home. We can end all this and just say, are we all going to do this and just go home? Is
I would
that-
like a vote taken, Mr. Chairman.
If everybody's good with that, please raise your hand.
This vote on this
Yeah,
resolution.
if you guys are all good with just passing this resolution.
But we want to count the votes. I like
Okay,
a roll call
no,
vote.
let's just do this friendly real quick.
No,
If you-
I don't want to though,
if
Mr. Chairman.
you guys-
Only one member is asking you for a roll call vote.
I'll second the motion for a roll call vote.
Point of professional privilege.
Yes.
For the interest of the guests, the resolution is simply to send the question of whether David Gellity should continue as chair to the PCOs to make the decision. That is all we're doing here. We are just sending the question of whether David should remain chair to the PCOs, okay?
If the roll call vote changes the outcome, then let's come back to it. If not, then.
Back to what?
The roll call vote.
Okay, no.
Just to say,
That's
if
fine.
we get, I'll just make a motion to accept this as written right now.
No, without objection, there's a roll call vote. I want the roll call.
And then we can go home.
Well, no, I don't think, there may be an amendment. I think it's inappropriate, Mr. Chairman, to just call for a vote.
Well, that's why I'm asking you guys. If you
Yeah,
guys
we're
want to
saying
sit here and
no.
argue.
I just said no.
Okay, so then, fine. But
Mr. Chairman, I think it's very interesting that when it benefits the people who are trying to push something, to have all of the details and the fine print and all of those things followed. They want to stick to the fine print. But when they don't, and it's not in their benefit, then they want to ignore it. And so I
We just made a
personally
mistake,
think-
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry to ask for, Mr. Chairman, we made a mistake in not writing the date on the thing. We
It
just
is
want to
on the
amend
date.
it. What do you want to amend it with?
Well, I want to amend it. The point of order is Clyde is no longer recognized as a member.
Yeah,
So there's no.
Well, that's not true.
Clyde.
it is.
Yeah,
But
that's all
listen, we're being a
other
friendly
things
board.
recognized.
If he doesn't vote and she doesn't vote, we're good, right? That's all right.
Right.
We could be a friendly board, that's all
Okay.
right. You don't need to.
Well, no, I mean,
We'll go smoke
we
together.
don't have any meeting minutes, and a
So-
petition is not valid to remove a chair from an
There was-
LD.
there
And
was no
so,
petition.
there was, yeah, there was. And so at this time, I'm still going to recognize Clyde as chair until the proper meeting minutes show otherwise.
I appeal the decision of the chair.
I second it.
Well, it's interpreted by the chair.
I made an appeal of the decision of the chair, and you are not recognizing it. I appeal the decision of the chair.
Second.
Okay.
And by the way,
Mr. Chairman, we have an opinion here that says that a meeting is not necessary for his removal. That's, I guess, the crux of my case.
I
So how many
actually,
more people are you guys going to throw away?
Out of order. Yeah.
That is out of
well,
order.
we can talk about that after
This whole
this.
thing
Right
is
now,
out of
let's
order.
take care of the business of this party right now.
Guests in the back of the room, you're not part of this meeting, so please
Thank you, Mr.
observe.
Chairman. Mr. Chairman, an appeal of your decision has been made. Can we just proceed forward with the resolution as read? Please read the resolution, Madam Secretary. Oh, actually,
So
did
I'm
somebody
gonna,
make-
I'll read the
nobody has
resolution
made-
here.
Nobody has made a motion to put
Nobody
it in.
said-
so-
Just a moment.
No, nobody has made a motion. Well, there was sort of a motion made, but it wasn't seconded. So
Resolution to remove,
Are you making a
Office
motion to
Gellity.
accept it?
no, I was gonna read what you guys have written.
Well, somebody needs to make a motion before.
I'll make a
the-
motion.
Okay.
I make a motion, and I'll read my resolution.
I have one question, though. May I ask you a question? If I make a motion first to accept the votes in the LD 20 as a board, then we can go
we actually have
on
an agenda and you
to
can't do that,
yours. That
gotcha.
way Clyde
It's a
cannot
special
vote
meeting.
with us on your motion.
Right, that allows.
And it's-
That would be
credentialing,
first. Credentialing will be
Sure.
taken care of first.
I thought we would.
Yeah, you can't add items to an agenda, it's a special.
right. Credentialing always.
Mr. Chairman, this is not adding an agenda item to the meeting. I understand you think that, but in order to vote on this resolution, we need to make sure that the credentials of the voting members are accurate. Right now, they're under scrutiny, and so we need to clear that up. The board is intelligent enough to make a decision based on all of the proof, so let's make a decision. My motion is to accept the record of votes put forth by the 3 precinct committee officers in LD 20. As a board, I request that we accept that.
That's actually a separate
Any
motion,
second?
that would be an agenda item.
Parliamentary inquiry, I believe we left it off with the chairman ruling that Clyde was a legitimate member, and then there was an appeal of the decision of the chair, but I don't believe we have voted on the appeal.
Correct.
So I
Right,
believe we're
nothing
in
has
debate.
been, yes.
Okay. So, are we ready to vote on the appeal of the decision of the chair?
Well, that's actually, this whole
That will
appeal would be dilatory because it goes against the purpose of our party and it is
Okay, the
egregious.
purpose of this meeting right now is to vote on the resolution. The
Correct.
credential of the member is being challenged. We're telling you that the credential was accepted and the member is not a voting member. You're saying, no, we're appealing your ruling, and now
Because
we
you don't
have
have
to
the
vote on
authority
the
to
ruling.
kick out any board member. The board
Yeah,
can't.
actually, we
We did
do.
not.
We're
No,
not kicking,
the PCOs of the 20th LD did that.
they already took care of that.
With,
We're not
but
making a
clearly
decision
didn't follow
about
the
that.
rules that are in place to be able to do
No,
that.
there's not clearly.
Yes, they did.
According to expert opinion,
Well, we have
according
expert
to-
opinion that had looked at it and said that it
Mr. Chairman.
wasn't.
Where is your expert opinion?
It was at the last board meeting, which was already
Mr.
settled.
Chairman.
The last board meeting, both of these credentials were already settled.
No, sir.
I believe the chairman is ignoring the appeal
Yes,
of the
Jimmy.
decision of the
Yeah.
chair.
Actually, it's
the
discussion,
decision-
Jimmy's talking.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, it appears to me that this board is so broken that we can't hardly get through the prayer and the pledge before we're finding ourselves set upon with all this strategy. I suggest that we put it before the PCOs to resolve the brokenness of this board
It's already there.
on the
There's a,
17th and on the following
Yes.
21st.
Okay.
I
I mean, if
don't
this is,
see any good coming of any of this until they've
Mr. Chairman,
spoken.
Jimmy's absolutely right, and the question of the 4 of us have been put in front of the DCOs, but the question of you has not been put in front of DCOs. Our desire today is to make that question in the hands of the DCOs and take it out of our hands, because we don't want to make that decision.
so and you want to have that in the hands of 24th of the next central committee.
Yeah, nothing bad is going to happen, you just were going to pass that resolution, let us,
No,
What-
all on the
It's saying
21st.
That's
He's
what
trying to-
I'm reading this right here.
Well, what was George's amendment?
What was George's amendment to the date?
The-
Was that an amendment?
Or is it already in
There
the?
was not. So First of all, is this on the floor? And well,
Well,
parliamentary.
let's take a vote on yours.
We have to
Can we take
deal
a-
with that.
And which
Take the
appeal
vote
was
on
that?
the appeal.
Was that the left?
Can't
or
vote
the-
it.
His recognition applied.
Oh, recognition.
It hasn't been voted on yet.
Okay, let's go ahead.
Okay. All those who want to uphold the decision of the chair?
To recognize Clyde, please stand up.
Okay. All those who are not?
Oh, not funny.
That's great.
All right.
I move that we reconsider the motion and push it to the next meeting.
Of course. Okay,
I'll
Mr. Chair,
second that.
Okay, we're in discussion.
Mr. Accept the votes of the LD 20 PCOs.
I second that.
Okay, Tom.
After the meeting Wednesday, I was told repeatedly that the legislative district wants to elect a new chair. There's no reason for the executive board to get involved, and that we have no right to get involved in a legislative district meeting. Could somebody clarify to me why we just voted this last time and why we have a vote this time so I can understand?
Go ahead, George. Or, Mr. Chairman, do you want to
Mr.
recommend?
Chair, I'd like to answer the question. The reason why it's appropriate for us is that we are not making a decision to decide who is the LD chair for the 20th. The decision that was made by the PCOs of the 20th is something that we have to abide by. Because by RCW, which supersedes our bylaws, the vote of who LD chairs are is determined by the PCOs of that district, not the central committee. Since that vote has been taken, and we have witnesses here that attest that the document that we received on Wednesday was authentic, and there was question on Wednesday, then we need to accept the fact that the decision of the PCOs in the 20th has established that Clyde Holland is no longer their LD chair, and as such, he is not to be seated at this board.
George, it seemed like you were contradicting yourself. The first part saying we didn't need to vote, but then we need to accept. So I'm still trying to be clear. It seems like there was a meeting and that a majority decided on a new district chair. So why are we voting on this?
Right,
Because he's still
exactly, because he's not
Because
recognized.
he's still sitting here.
Yes,
Because he's still sitting here and he was told that he's no longer the chair.
it's a matter of credentials.
It's a
If
credential.
he is not the LD chair of the 20th, then he is not a legitimate member of this board.
He's trying to vote right now, and he can't because he's been removed by his own PCOs. And our chairman's
So the vote
recommendation.
basically is the challenge of who is the district chair right now?
No, the vote is to challenge his vote and say he doesn't have it.
To recognize PCOs.
And those PCOs, but in the.
Okay.
Okay, good,
I
thank you.
think I get it.
Thank you. We're just recognizing the record of votes.
Mr. Chairman, I move to lay the motion to reconsider on the table. Is there a second?
Second.
Oh, yeah. Okay, discussion? What does that mean for the rest of us?
Oh, just to clarify, a motion to lay on the table means we're just going to set aside the motion to reconsider. It just goes away.
So now she took it off the table.
What do you explain? So motion to lay on the motion? To lay the motion on the table.
He made a motion to reconsider. Yeah,
This is about Clyde. Not about Leslie. Nor about the resolution. But it could be
So we
done.
still need to go back,
It
okay.
could be done.
Well, we need to vote the motion to reconsider. Excuse me, the motion to lay on the table.
To reconsider the challenge.
Motion to reconsider, that's made and seconded, goes to the regular.
There's specific rules on that, actually. The specific rule from Robert's Rule says, so long as business is not unreasonably delayed and the mover of the reconsideration acted in good faith? Well, I would argue both of those are false, because a credentials challenge would unreasonably delay the entire business of the meeting. You can't have a meeting until you've settled credentials. And second, the person who made the motion also attempted to rule it dilatory. So to go from attempting to rule it dilatory to now making a motion to reconsider it is not in good faith.
Yep. I also think it's not good faith to come here with an opinion where you don't have the opportunity to
Out of order, Mr. Chairman, that is
bring it
not
back from that
germane.
standpoint.
It's not
You have to
germane.
review it and determine whether or not it was appropriate.
Point of order, a motion to lay on the table is not debatable.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Point of information.
Sure.
What is the requirement to vote on the motion to take off the table, or to reconsider?
To lay on the table?
No, what is it that we're considering? And what are the requirements?
He made a motion to reconsider. I made a motion to lay that on the table, which is a non-debatable motion that requires a majority vote.
Okay.
Laying on the table effectively kills it.
And they seconded it. He seconded
Yes,
it.
yes.
So now a vote needs to be taken.
And we are voting on it.
The motion to lay it on the table.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
Okay, you have a lot of time.
To lay it or take it from the table?
Lay it on the table. Take it from the table means we want to consider it.
What's the motion?
The motion is to lay on the table his motion to reconsider.
And the motion to reconsider is reconsidering what?
The appeal of the decision of the chair.
We appealed his decision to keep him voting.
So laying the reconsideration.
And the second on yours.
Yourself. I heard you say I was second that.
You guys left it all the last few times.
No. That was funny.
Well, yeah, okay, all those in favor?
Favor of
Laying it on the table?
Yep.
Laying it on the table.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7.
Opposed? Okay, none. So I believe we're back at the resolution.
And
So
so
back
Clyde, Clyde does not have a vote, and do we need to do that for you?
Well, we already did that for her.
Oh, she's got it. Okay.
No, she doesn't.
So I'll make
No, she did
a
not.
motion.
We already did the
George. So I make the motion. Whereas the CCRP bylaws authorize removal of an officer for cause in Article 6, Section 2A, and whereas the chairman has been accused by the board of a series of egregious offenses, now therefore be it resolved that the board of the CCRP asks the CCRCC to remove David Gellity as chairman of the CCRP effective immediately upon their vote on October 21st, 2017.
Second.
Okay, discussion?
Mr. Chairman, if I understand, the removal of officers or anything is the reason that there was a petition and we needed 50% of the PCOs. Otherwise, these folks could muster a quorum and remove anybody they wanted.
Yeah, this is,
It's just weird. So they're saying here that at the stated
Jimmy,
meeting on the 23rd.
So what's the,
I was
Point of order,
first.
Mr. Chairman.
I've been saying, okay, sorry. So, Mr. Chairman, this is discussion and on the resolution. On September 2nd, which was the only time I've ever met you, Mr. Clyde Holland came and made a motion in order to do exactly what we're trying to do here. And he wanted it to pass without discussion. We explained to Mr. Holland at that time that a policy was passed that a resolution must go to the PCO, so we crafted the resolution. Ms. Mahari, even herself, changed it to, was accused of, remember that?
But if I'm not a voting member, that change can't happen.
Having said that.
No, I was the one that made the motion.
No, actually, you weren't. He was. Yeah, we fixed that. You weren't here last time.
I saw you guys change.
Having said that, Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
we are only trying to send the question of you so that we will have an even playing field. Does that make sense? I'm done.
We done?
You understand that? You recognize what I'm saying? That's the only reason for this
Discussion.
resolution.
Any other discussion?
I just have a question.
Yeah.
Since we're all up for removal on the 17th, why can't we just put all 5 of us at the same time?
Then
That way
amend
we
it.
don't have to
Amend it.
Can I amend the resolution to have it changed to October 17th, 2017, along with the rest of the.
You can't
Hold
make
on, I'm not
amendments
finished,
to what the
please.
PCO's closing. I'm
Can I
just,
finish? Thank you. I am just asking if we can amend this to October 17th and ask the PCOs if they want to consider all 5 of us at the same time, because that would be easier than trying to get them to come to 2 different meetings. I think it would be fair if it's the 4 that are up for removal plus the chair.
I second
Right.
that.
Are you Well-
listening to I second the amendment.
They won't, it'll be just you?
Mr. Chair,
Okay.
point of
Well,
order,
then
Chair,
ask
Ms.
for
Piper.
I'm not totally against it, but the first thing that comes to my mind is that a lot of the PCOs are very confused right now. There's been so much information coming from so many directions, false statements made, emails removed, everything like that. And so
Yeah.
I'm not sure that having both those meetings, because there's a huge question as to the 17th meeting, the way it's arranged, the way there's 10 minutes
Yeah.
to be explaining what the charges are, which are not even clear right now. So I wouldn't
So should we
even,
remove-
I think the 17th meeting is so already planned out and manipulated to the point where it's not even going to be a constructive.
Was your
fit.
motion seconded?
So,
Yes, I second.
Well, I'm just wondering, then can we move the 4 to the 21st?
Yeah.
Because that would give us, because that's Saturdays, more people are available. I mean, 7:15 at night on a Tuesday is going to be hard for a lot of PCOs. People who have children who live in the rural areas. And 10 minutes, yeah, like I said, the meeting minutes, rules, whatever, it was difficult to follow.
Thank you. Being that we have to rent the facility and that you have rented the facility from 7:15 PM and this meeting sounds like it's going to be a very long and contentious meeting, I support Suzanne's amendment to make sure that it goes to the 21st. I thought there's a date on it. Oh, it already says
This one says the
October
21st, so I'm not going to amend this one.
So,
but I would-
so you're not changing it back to the
I will
17th?
remove my amendment because I will keep it on the 21st and
Well,
maybe
it's
it's a
already
different
been
issue.
seconded, so we have to still vote
Well,
on
they can
that?
withdraw it if there's no
Yeah,
objection.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
then.
No objection.
Okay.
I guess the other issue is a different issue.
yeah,
Sorry.
okay.
So I'd like to make a motion to amend the resolution. Specifically, I'd like to add a clause at the end that reads, therefore, the board will notify all PCOs of this change to the agenda by sending a copy of this resolution to the PCOs via email before midnight tonight, October 7th, 2017. That's for
Okay.
I'll second that.
Second.
And just for a quick.
No objection?
Oh,
Motion carries.
okay.
Okay, so we have the resolution as amended. Karen, can you read it, please?
The new resolution.
The resolution as
The
amended.
one in my hand.
Yeah, and slow it down if you need
Okay.
time.
I know, I'm like scrambling. Okay. Resolution to remove from office David Gellity. Whereas the CCRP bylaws authorize removal of an officer for cause in Article 6, Section 2A, and whereas the chairman has been accused by the board of a series of egregious offenses, now therefore be it resolved that the board of the CCRP asks the CCRCC to remove David Gellity as chairman of the CCRP effective immediately upon their vote on October 21st, 2017. Therefore, the board will notify all PCOs of this change to the agenda by sending a copy of this resolution to the PCOs via email before midnight tonight, October 7th, 2017.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Or you guys want to discuss? Sorry. I thought we were reading it to vote on it.
I do have a question, because I am a PCO member.
Yeah.
And I have had lots of conversations, because of the confusion, I want to be ready to answer questions that get answered, because there's the 2017 meeting, and then there's this meeting. So how are the details going to be?
Karen will worry about sending out the details probably. That'll be one that you guys are going to send out for whatever the changes are.
No, but that doesn't answer my question, though.
What was your
Well,
question?
I can.
Well, these people, there's going to be a small group of people showing up on 2017.
You mean on the 17th?
October
Yeah,
17th.
did you guys know about the
Yes, yes,
October
yes.
17th meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Well,
let's-
That was my question.
Because that meeting comes before the October 21st. meeting.
Yes.
So is there going to be any confusion there that we
No,
need to be?
we'll make sure that's really clarified.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I believe that we will be discussing that on Wednesday's board meeting.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman?
This next Wednesday?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Debate, or
Yeah.
debate, I have debate on this issue, on the resolution.
Are you making a motion to change something or just
I'm
discussion?
discussion, this is important,
Okay.
right? Mr. Chair, some have stated that this motion is not necessary, obviously this 2/3 motion, and that you don't really need to be put on with a resolution in front of the PCOs.
Okay.
And my question to you is, there are 16 different possible outcomes of that meeting regarding the 4 board members. Under which circumstance will you resign?
This is.
Would you be so kind as to mark
No,
in a matrix?
This is out of order. This is not actually have anything to do with the resolution.
In order to ensure the promise you made to the PCOs that you would resign if the
I will-
4 are not removed, we should give them the option to take care of that themselves on the 21st. And I am in favor of moving the meeting of the 17th to the 21st, so we will all be considered at the same time.
Okay. So we have a motion on the floor. Is there any other discussion?
Point of information, to just clarify, what we're voting on is the resolution as amended.
As amended,
As
right?
amended, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Are we ready to vote? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. If that is the only business tonight, then
I'd like to
we're
make a
done.
motion, Mr. Chairman.
We adjourn?
No,
Nope. I have one other motion.
there was a motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
Well, you can make one.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I'd like to make the motion that we publish the proposed resolution and the outcome to the public. It will have 3 paragraphs. The first paragraph will be an introduction that we held this meeting, when and where, just the facts. Second paragraph will include the text of the past resolution. The third paragraph will include the vote results.
So you want to do, so you're making a motion, can you read that first part again?
I make a
Do
motion.
you have the motion written out?
I do not. I make a motion that we publish
What happened
the
here?
past resolution and the outcome to the PCOs.
Okay.
I'm sorry, to the public. It will have 3 paragraphs. First, introduction that we held a meeting when and where, and I'll give you the text here.
Okay.
Second paragraph includes the text of the past resolution. Third will include the vote results.
Okay, so basically, it's this kind of the same thing we did at the end of the September 2nd.
Yeah, this would be a press
Okay.
release because the majority of this is happening.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay. I'll second that.
No objection? Okay.
Okay.
Can we adjourn? Adjourn?
Jimmy?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll
Second.
No
See you
objection,
on
let's go.
Wednesday.
Almost
Mr. Chairman, are you going to be calling a board meeting for Wednesday? If it's on the schedule. Thank you so much. It is.
See y'all Wednesday.
How are you here for that?
On the 21st?
Have
somebody call for you. You can identify. In the state of Washington, you can identify any way you want.
There was no bill here.
Easily made it okay.
It's actually not. It's on first name.
See what we did?
My goodness, I want to get that out of the first win! Holy schmoly, Lord, you are great! This is all for you! For you! I cried for 2 days because of this.
She's on camera.
Struck by lightning.
It feels so good to win. It's fine. It feels good to win. This is tears of joy. How long are we going to be trying?
We're good. Yeah.